Saturday becomes a big game with a lot going on around it. Do you need to sort of keep the players focused on the football?
Well, it's really easy to say that, isn't it? Focus on the football, but we're human beings, and it's really difficult. The football is the most important, but the day will also be about a celebration of moving on. We can all celebrate and thank the previous board, and we can also look forward to what's going to come. I'm quite sure the family will go onto the pitch at some point on Saturday to introduce themselves, and I'm quite sure they'll get an incredible Cumbrian ovation when they go out there. Looking at the forecast, I hope they've got big coats with them, and they're ready for it. But this weekend is about that celebration, and we've got to make sure we do the football side of it properly. There is no point me saying forget about all of that stuff, and just focus on the game, because that doesn't happen. So we have to accept that there might be a distraction. What we have to do is make sure the distraction doesn't deter from the performance.
And Charlton will provide another tough test.
I think they're a good side. I think they're a really good side. I was disappointed for Dean Holden when he lost his job early on the season, because he's a friend of mine, Dean, and I really thought that would have been a good fit for them. But Michael's come into the club and he's steadied it. They've got a really good group of players. They've got some real talented lads. And what we've got to do is start standing up to those challenges. We've done okay, but the league table doesn't reflect that, because we haven't picked up enough points. This weekend we've got to be fully at it, because if we're not, we'll get found out. It's as simple as that. And the challenge for us is to make sure that we are at it. I've got to say, training today, there's been so much enthusiasm and a real buzz about it, and whether that's because of the takeover or whether it's just because they feel fresh from not having a game last weekend, we've got to make sure we take that into the game Saturday.
And then addition to the squad with Josh coming in, good to get that sorted after he's been with us for a few days.
Yeah, Josh has trained really well. I said in the signing, he's a player who I've always liked. I've watched him for a number of years. He's a real good athlete. He's got good ability. I didn't know the guy, but meeting him, he's a real good personality. And I think that's important, to get good people in the football club. And Joshua's come in, and he's settled in well. He's shown us what he's all about. So he certainly comes into my thinking for the weekend, but without doubt for the rest of this season.
Any other free agents on the horizon?
We're looking at a couple of other things at the moment. There's nothing else that's going to be done before the weekend. Obviously, with Jockle being out for quite a number of weeks, probably looking at 12 to 14 weeks with the fracture on his scapula, we need to get another goalkeeper in the building. So that's something we are looking at. There's a couple of options that we've been weighing up, and we'll continue to do that. Maybe next week that might be something that we might get tied up. There's also another player who we're going to have to train for the next sort of couple of weeks to have a look at. It's a little bit disrupted next week because we've got the game on Tuesday night, so we'll only have the one training session, and then we have no game next weekend. So it's all a little bit up in the air, but it'll give us a chance to weigh things up. It'll give us a chance to get other players back, because this weekend we've got Joe Garner and Alfie suspended. They'll come back into the mix for the Reading game on Tuesday. Jack Ellis will be a little bit closer at that point, and then as we get into December, we should hopefully get more and more bodies back with us.
And you were hoping that Sean and Mox would be fine to train this week. Has that been the case?
Yeah, they've trained. There's no problem there. They trained. Mox has trained all of this week. Shawnee was back with us last week after his sickness bug. So yeah, we've got everybody who is not on the long-term injury list available for us, and it's up to us to go and perform this weekend.
And Saturday's attendance, we're already over 8,000, I think, including about 1,000 away fans, so it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Wow, well, credit to Charlton fans, 1,000 making the journey up. We know how difficult it is to get down to London, so it's the other way around for them, so credit to them. But I think, I don't do social media, but what people are telling me, that the buzz that's going around, I think everybody feels like this is a bit of a new dawning for us. It's the start of a new era, and that's the way we have to look at it. And if we can get double figures for this weekend and hopefully get a performance right and get a result that keeps them coming back, that's what we have to do to build this football club. we have to get performances. We've got to give the fans something to want to come back for. And I know that the Piatacs, they're looking at it and thinking, we've got potential to fill this ground, and that's what we have to do. And then you get bigger crowds, there's more finances come in, they're not having to dig deep into their pockets, because so far they've had to dig deep to buy this football club, because everybody knew there was a big debt, and they've settled it without getting very much help on it, without getting much of a deal. So they've had to stomach a big bill on that one, but credit to them, they were adamant that needed to be done, that needed to be rid of the football club, and they've done that. And I'm really looking forward to how we're going to build moving forward.